All right, good evening. My name is Carla Jean. I'm the owner of Wild, and tonight we have Trevon with us. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate you doing this. Now, tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, thank you for introducing me. My name is Trevon. I am the owner and I'm the creator of Ancestors Wisdom on Instagram.
All right, awesome. And Trevon, how long have you been practicing, by the way?
Maybe like 3 or 4 years.
Okay, all right. And what do you practice right now?
I practice Hoodoo and Voodoo.
Hoodoo and Voodoo. So, on Ancestors Wisdom, what kind of services do you provide?
I provide consultations, readings, consultations. Oh, I said it twice. Consultations, readings, spell work, and yeah, that's about it.
What's the difference between like consultations and a reading for you?
Well, reading is me communicating with my spirits. I'm clairvoyant and clairaudient, so I see spirit and I hear spirit. So in my readings, I'm using my tarot cards and I'm connecting with spirit. In my consultations, I'm just it's just us having a conversation, basically. You know, you asking me questions, you venting to me, I'm giving you advice. We're just like chatting, and anything from any like spiritual conversations, spiritual topics, anything that my clients want to ask me, that time is theirs to talk about spiritual issues, spell work, stuff like that.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay. Honestly, I didn't know that you provided those kind of services when it came to the consultations. What kind of conversations do you have with these clients?
Whew, you have no. A lot of people, they ask me how to connect with their ancestors, how to develop their spiritual gifts. Like we really have a like those we talk about spell work. We will talk about like different spells I can help them for their court cases, or if I can fix their court cases. Like the conversations really vary. Like people, okay, because people when they DM me, they kind of want to vent and communicate with me and stuff, and it's kind of hard to keep maintaining those conversations. So if you really want to like just have a personal deep conversation with me and ask me like anything that's on your heart, then book a consultation with me. You know what I'm saying? But majority of the time in a consultation, I'm trying to help that client with like spell work or trying to figure out if I can do
Okay.
a spell on the situation, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. And so you've been doing this for like 3 or 4 years, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So then, like when you first started, did you ever think that you would get to the point that you are now, doing readings, consultations, and all that for people?
Uh, Oh, yes. No, I did not. I gotta be honest with you. I did not at first. I was always told because I have two elders. That I have one of my elders who is a priest man. He tells me that I have another one who is Leslie, and I always been hearing that I was gonna be deeper in doing this type of stuff more and more. But at the time, I didn't believe it. But as I continue to grow, I do see myself into this a lot. More. This is lifestyle. So yeah.
Okay, then how did things get started for you, like originally? Were you always a spiritual person?
Uh, okay. Well, when I was in the fourth grade, I always had spiritual experiences. So yes, I always sensed spirit and felt like spirit was there at an early age. But it wasn't until 2017 when my best friend died. I was a pizza delivery driver. Okay, let me show you how the spirits work.
Hold on
I
a
was,
second. What pizza company did you work for? I need the image. I want to see you in your little uniform.
Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it because I worked at Domino's, but right around the time my best friend died, I worked at Domino's, but I got fired. So I got fired because I was delivering pizza and I had weed in my car.
Oh.
And the police pulled me over, and went to jail because I had weed, and they fired me from that situation. That situation caused me to get a court date on May the 9th. So, and this was in March. So I'm like, okay, my court date is on May the 9th. So I lost my job from Domino's, and then I found another one at Russo's. It's a pizza place where I was working at. It's called New York pizzeria called Russo's. But it's not one of them big name brand companies a lot of people know about. So, okay, so I was working there, and then I got a delivery to this lady named Heather, and I went to Heather, and when I got a delivery from Heather, Heather was like, you know, you have a gift. I see it in your eyes, your aura, your energy, all this stuff, and da 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 da. So she said, I want you to go get to this reader, and her name is Leslie. I booked a reading with Leslie, and I fast forward and shit. Let me tell you something. Before I got that job at Russo's, my best friend died within that month of April because my court date was May the 9th. Within that month of April, my best friend died. His funeral and my court date, his funeral and my court date was on the same date and time, exactly. So I noticed that wasn't a coincidence, so I wasn't able to go to his funeral. So during that time of me grieving, I was wondering and I was questioning God, why was I not able to go to his funeral? Because it was a coincidence. I don't think it was a coincidence that his funeral and my court date was the same day and time. As I, was working at Russo's and I was questioning God and connecting, trying to pray to God and ask for answers and stuff, I was seeing his numbers everywhere. I went to deliver that piece to Heather. Heather told me to go to Leslie. I went to Leslie, and when I went to Leslie, Leslie told me, you had this gift. Your best friend Spirit been trying to connect with you with the numbers. Your ancestors been trying to connect with you. And she said you can do readings. She said you can do what I do. She said you can pull people. And this is how she explained this too. She didn't say that I can manifest or I can do spell work. She said I can just pull down people's blessings. She didn't even tell me that in a real way. You know what I'm saying? So as time went on, I had to just figure it out on my own. And lo and behold, where the hell I am.
That sounds like a lot of work, honestly. Like, I'm serious.
It took a year.
A year of what? Like for all of this to transpire with your best friend, the court date, Leslie, all of that? Mm-hmm. And then once you started kind of getting into kind of exploring spirituality in general and trying to figure out what your path was, once you started down there, like what were some of like the challenges you faced in the beginning going about this lifestyle alone?
Having people, I come from a community where Black people think this is evil or this is not, this is not of God. Okay, so I thought my community or my people that know me thought I was going quote unquote faking or being a fraud or pretending to be this. I had to overcome a lot of naysayers, a lot of people who thought I was gonna bullshit or I was just doing this for attention and stuff. But besides those naysayers and stuff, and my own personal doubt, because I had a moment when I was doing readings, I wasn't trusting my gift, my intuition, and what Spirit was saying. Besides my own personal self of blocking, my own obstacle, I would say the naysayers and the people who don't understand spirituality for tarot cards or reading.
You say people who don't understand spirituality, and I think I definitely relate to that like a lot because, and you're right, in the Black community, it's really baffling to me sometimes that because people don't know the history behind some of what we practice or the origins of it, they write it off so quickly. But I mean, spirituality is almost as it's one of the most Black things there is, And, just because they practice something different, it doesn't necessarily mean that, like, this isn't an invitation for everybody, but it doesn't necessarily mean that, like, we deserve to be written off so quickly,
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you meet people who are more religious than spiritual and they don't really understand that there's a difference,
Exactly, because religion keep you boxed in and kind of conform, and spirituality
Hold on a second. Here's the thing, Vodou is a religion itself. I think that the way that people today practice religion is what boxes them in because it's like they have this idea that religion can only be one thing, and if it's not that,
absolutely.
And if it's not that one thing that they've gotten into their minds that religion is, it's just like they cannot compute that something different is out there or that it can exist in any other way than what they're comfortable with, what they're used to. So I don't even blame religion. I just blame people's mindsets.
Yeah, because you can be religious and not religious. You can be in a religion and spiritual at the same time.
100%. And we all know those religious leaders or whatever that are some of the least spiritual people you've ever met. Man.
Look, talk about it, sweetie.
But it's not about them. It's about you. Don't worry. We don't need to get, we don't need to get into them. It's not their time. Yeah. I want to talk a little bit more about like you and your journey, you know, because now you're at the point where you told me that recently you were able to quit your day job and do this full time. So congrats on that. But you know, it took you a while to get to that point. So what are like some of the differences between how you used to work for people in the beginning versus how you work for clients now?
Okay, so you mean people, okay, how I used to work for my clients in the beginning, or people at my job opposed to?
Oh, no, not your job. I mean, just like your approach to spirituality, your approach to spiritual work, that kind of stuff. How has that changed over the last couple of years?
You know, I don't even feel like my approach changed too much. I take it. I still take it seriously. Ever since I started, I took it serious. But now because I'm into it full time, and that transition, because my ancestors always told me that I was gonna do it full time, but I never believed them. Like well, not me saying I never believed them, child, but I kind of was like, okay, we gonna see how that happens. You know, it's gonna be interesting. And lo and behold, it was kind of funny situation how it kind of transpired too. I just went in to work one day and they was like, "Oh, we hired enough drivers. We don't need you no more." Like, okay, the fuck. So now I got a workspace, as you see, got right here. I have a workspace, so I decided to invest into myself and set up a workspace. And now I stay busy all the time, So even when I don't post on my business page, people are still booking with me. I'm a one-man show, so I have to keep up with the clients, the spell work, consultations. Then I have to recharge spells because sometimes people think that when you do spell work, it's like microwavable sometimes, and it's not always microwavable. Some spells take months, some could take even years. I haven't had a spell where it took like years, but I have had some spell where they take months. So I'm constantly working, I'm constantly busy. I'm always running to the Botanica, like trying to buy candles and like all the little pretty candles you got behind you. I stay busy. So yes, it really hasn't changed, but I am more busy.
Okay, then besides your approach, let's talk about your personal practice. How has that changed from you trying to figure it out in the beginning to you having a whole setup now?
Ooh, I have grown. My ancestors has led me to people, elders that I only allow. I don't allow everyone to read me. It's only like probably 4 people on my hand that I could on my 3, 5, 3, yeah, a couple people on my goddamn hand that allow read me, and I'm blessed that they have my ancestors have led me to them where they have been able to give me information regarding my spiritual court, the spirits that walk with me, who holds my head at this moment, or who is surrounding me, who is protecting me, who are my guardians, stuff like that. Because at first I didn't know any of that information. Now I know that now, and I'm also learning how to honor them. I have gotten my readings on how to connect with them, how to serve them, what they want from me, stuff like that. So now I'm more involved and I'm more working with my spirits now, opposed to, because at first I was honoring them. Now I'm working with them, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I definitely understand. Like when you first, I've seen this a lot. My mom has her spiritual house and I've seen initiates go through. And it's always really telling because when people first kind of start their paths and whatnot, it's all about like, how is this going to get done? Or how is this going to happen and stuff like that? Or how am I going to figure this out? But then over time, it's almost like, having conversation. Your spirits are kind of like your family, It's like, how are we going to figure this out? What's the plan, guys? What's going on? How are we going to do this together? Versus what's happening now.
Yeah, instead of just, I feel like stuff will fall into place when you start honoring them, and because I would say majority of people who start going to their ancestors when they start trying to connect, their life is kind of not in shambles, but it's kind of all over the place. know what I'm saying? Just like here, there, everywhere. You know, they it's dysfunction. They need order, basically. So when you start honoring your ancestors, they will come in and they will bring order to the chaos, and they will bring structure. They will guide you into the right direction. So once you just start honoring them, I feel like everything else will, instead of just wondering what's coming, how it's gonna come, this, that, and that, they will guide you and lead you in the direction once you start honoring them. So you don't have to really sit and worry about, oh, what's this, what's gonna come, and all this other stuff. When I started, I didn't really worry about any of that. I started honoring them, and then they took the wheel. They say Jesus took the wheel, but the ancestors took the wheel. Can I drop a bomb on that?
Oh, we don't have them yet. We don't have the budget. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Apparently you do have the budget.
I do. You guys, go ahead and plug this in. If you guys follow me at Ancestors Wisdom, I also have a podcast on Apple. It's on Apple iTunes, it's on Spotify, and it's on Anchor. It's called Ancestors Wisdom, where I talk about spiritual stuff and I crack jokes. So if you guys are interested, go check it out.
Yeah, I'll link it below when when I upload the videos, so that they can connect with you if they want to. But let's talk a little bit more about the contribution that your ancestors have made, because you have this story about, you told me before about how you how like subtle changes that you made into your work that made it stronger. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Sudden changes.
Like changes that you were like led to make within your spiritual work by your ancestors or intuition.
Okay. Yes. Okay. I know exactly what you're talking about. Well, because I'm naturally I'm just in tune with them when I do my spiritual work, and when I start doing when I say my spiritual work, when I start doing my spell work, when I start trying to manifest, I could do like, okay, let me just give you an example. I could be pouring something, and I could have an urge to don't pour it like that. Do this instead, and I might just, okay, let me just do this instead, or tie this like that, or I just might have the urge to do something different. And when I do my spell work, I have learned that it's my ancestors telling me, they're guiding me how to do the spell. They don't want me to do it that way. They want me to do it another way. And I know the first time I actually did this, I was doing a spell for a woman, and the spirit, and I never did this before, but I was folding the paper, and then I had to burn it, and then I had to tie it, but the spirit said, tie it this way. I had her belongings, and I had to tie it a certain type of way before I did what I did and gave it to the spirits. And something told me to tie it that way, and I, did the spell, and I was like, oh, okay. And the spell manifested within a month. I was trying to help a woman get a job. I got her a job. The job was, it paid her, I think, over $100K a year, and it manifested within a month. But and I felt like, I said, when that shit manifested, I said, that's because my ancestors, and I knew for a fact that they guided me to, do the spell a certain type of way, because I never did it that type of way before. So, child, that's what the hell we got. So.
Okay, so, it's probably hard for someone who hasn't been exposed to this to listen to you basically make these kinds of claims. Why are you so confident talking about doing spell work and stuff like that for people?
Why am I confident?
Yeah.
My spell work? Huh. Because I know my shit work. I know it worked, and I just seen it manifest. Let me tell you this. It's back to a point that you said before. In the Black community, people, they don't believe, or they think it's either fake or it's evil. So when I have certain clients come to me, and this is, like I said, when I first started doing this, I had to overcome the naysayers. And one of the naysayers were people who did not believe in this or thought this was fake. So now that I do my spiritual work and I see that my stuff is manifesting, I really don't pay attention to the people who think it's bullshit or it's baloney and stuff, because I seen it move, and I see it move in my life and everybody else like that I do work for. So I really got to the point where, fuck you, to be honest. So and then I have a bunch of reviews, and I have people who tell me that, you know, it worked, it manifested with you, you know, you helped my situation. So now I'm confident in my work, and I'm also confident in my spirits that help support my work. So it's just not me helping manifest it. I have spirits that help, you know, take over.
Well,
So
then,
yeah.
all right. Well, what do you practice specifically?
What I practice specifically? Well, because people like to say voodoo comes in different, you can practice voodoo different ways. What I would say how I do it is Haitian voodoo and hoodoo. I practice the Haitian way, the Haitian way. I said the Haitian wow, child. I practice in the Haitian way because I'm learning from someone who is initiated into Haitian voodoo.
All right. Now, as a Haitian who practices Haitian Vodou, what makes you think you have any right to do that?
To do Haitian voodoo? Ooh, you asked me the big boy questions. Huh. Okay. Well, what? See, this is. Let me just answer this question, not even try to stray. What gives me the right? Because my ancestors, I was called to the religion. I was called to practice this. I didn't just wake up one morning and be like, Haitian voodoo is something what I want to do. I got a reading, and my ancestors came down and they told me, you know, this is what we practice. We was priests, priestesses, and we want you to be, you know, next. And we want you to continue and uplift the lineage as well. So, and that's how I got guided into this. And then eventually my ancestors put people in my path and into my life that were able to teach me and take me up under their wing. So I didn't go looking for anything. I didn't go searching for anything. Like my ancestors brought me to these people and to these situations. So, and then they also shared this knowledge and information with me. So, I feel like, and that would gives me, I feel like that would give me the authorization to practice Haitian voodoo because it runs in my blood. It's in the bloodline.
All right, then. Where is your family from? You know?
My family is from. I'm 36 too. My family is from. My family is from New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
They're from New Orleans and Mississippi and Haiti.
Okay, and I know that if it wasn't for, 2020 and COVID, you said you had a plan to initiate, right?
I do. I do. I
How's that
do.
going?
I was going to get big mouth on here. Due to COVID slowing some shit down. Yes, I did have some other plans coming up for ceremonies and stuff like that. But when this COVID shit leaves, yeah, we getting on the bar.
Okay. Are you going to do your ceremony here in America or in Haiti?
Well, actually, in Haiti, one of them was going to take place in Haiti. We haven't got that far yet. Right now, with the big ones, the other ones, like the other, like because you got little other ones that you do. They're going to take place in the United States.
Okay. So you're kind of working up to it as much as you can.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are you excited for when it comes to the other side of initiation once you're within a house?
What am I excited for? Receiving my superpowers. No, I'm just kidding. No, seriously. Okay. No, because I hear about it, and like for priests or priestesses, you have to actually sacrifice a lot. So just when you become a priest or priestess, your life is not really just the same. You have to really honor and work with the spirits. It's not like you just continue living the same way. I don't know what to even expect. I kind of want to what I'm really excited for is uplifting my family and teaching my family how to work with the spirits and honor the Loa as well as me. So I'm not really, besides, because I heard from priests and priestesses, like once, like it's like the Loa, they like raise your head up, basically. It's like they straighten your head. It's like somebody who be like sinking or you damn near drowning underwater, and then they will come in and straighten you up and lift you up. That's how I, heard, going through your ceremonies is. So I just straighten my head up. how I feel, I'm excited for the new possibilities I can bring my family and my generation. That's what I really want to do.
Then let's talk about possibilities and what you can bring. You know, I think it's really admirable that you'd like to expose your family to this once you're exposed, but why is it so important to you?
Because I want to breathe life into the religion, and it is something that I know that will uplift my family and connecting with the spirits that walk with them and uplifting the lineages to come. If anything, I know Voodoo is about community and family and the ancestors. So my goal is to really help my family and bring blessings for generations, like wealth, generational wealth is what I really want to do for my family.
Okay. And how would practicing, you know, Vodou or anything like, or getting exposed to spirituality, how does that add generational wealth to your
And
family?
you know, wealth, because people can take generational wealth into so many ways. Wealth is not always about, wealth is abundance. So it can be abundance of knowledge, it could be abundance of material things, money, it could be many things. But I do want to bring abundant a wealth of all of those areas, but knowledge as well, spiritual knowledge, understanding our ancestors, where we come from, and how to connect with the spirits and how to manifest things into your life. I want you to live you don't have to live luxury. That's still a goal too, but live comfortably. So learning how, and I noticed the difference. Let's go back to what you said before, like overcoming the naysayers and people who think like, oh, this don't work. I've seen it work in my life, and I've seen the difference in my life. So I know it's real and I know it's possible. So that's, if that answers your question.
Yes, it definitely does. Now, is it just your family that you're interested in uplifting? How far does it
No,
go?
the community, community,
Mhm.
community. Like just when I said Voodoo is about community and family and the ancestors. Why too? But I want to uplift the Black community. I want to help my Black people of all, like wherever you're from, connect with your ancestors and get more in tune with the spirits that walk with you, or spirit or African spirituality, so you can make a difference in your life too. So, and let me say this, because before I got into spirituality, I wanted to be a drug counselor, because my best friend, how I said before, he actually overdosed. So I wanted to be a drug counselor, and I wanted to help other people from, going down the same path that he went into. So I always wanted to help people, or help my community, especially with drugs, in some type of way. But I didn't know that I would be a spiritual worker and I can help my community in that type of way on a spiritual level, opposed to, like, even though I can help you, a drug counselor can help you on a mental level or a physical level, you know what I'm saying, with your drugs and stuff. I can help you on a spiritual level. I can reach your core. You know what I'm saying? I can get to your spirits that's behind you and help you navigate you. It help you get your life on track, if you know what I'm trying to say. So with this, I take it very seriously, and I'm here to help my people and uplift my Black community with this.
Right. So I was going to ask whether or not this felt like the right path for you, but after everything you just said, that's pretty redundant. I can obviously this is something that feels like, you know, the right thing for you, but where does this go next? You know, like there's so much within my religion, your religion, spirituality as a whole. There's so much to know and so much to explore. There is really no end to how far this can go. So how do you, what are your goals for like the next couple of years or 10 years in the sense of developing in your spirituality?
My goal, I'm not even rushing to be a priest, because I know that's for me. I know that's gonna be there. So I'm not even rushing to be a priest, because I heard from priests and priestesses, they tell me you gotta sacrifice a lot. As long as I gotta sacrifice my hair and some weed, we okay. I don't do shit anyway. So I'm not really rushing to get to priesthood. But within these next, I want to say, couple of years, I wanna learn how to work deeper and stronger with my spirits. I work with them now, but I feel like I do little stuff. To me, you can do spiritual work in a light way and a heavy way. I want to do some heavy shit. Is what I want to learn. This is what I want to do. I want to learn some heavy shit. I want to learn. I want to go through. I want to continue to go through my ceremonies and receive my spirits and do what I have to do. That's my plans right now. I have other minor plans, like getting a house and doing like my ancestors. They speak of other things that take place, but I kind of want to like these other situations to take place in 2021. Like a lot of stuff that was supposed to take place in 2020 got pushed back due to COVID. So, and that's another thing people don't get too, because in the spiritual world, your ancestors will tell you something, but then some shit can happen in the physical world that pushed the shit back. So a lot of my shit got pushed back due to COVID. So I just want to take care of my ceremonies and work with my ancestors and my spirit. That's all I really got planned.
You said that you want to do some heavy shit. What's the difference? You said you want to do some heavy shit. So what does that mean?
Heavy shit. Well, let me break it down because I want to learn more spells. If you want, okay, I want to learn more spells with the Lawa, more working with the Lawa, more because you can work with it's ways that you can do it non-initiated ways and then initiated ways. I want to do more Lawa work per se.
Okay.
Makes sense?
Because
people don't understand the difference between Hoodoo and Voodoo. Hoodoo is not a religion. Voodoo is a religion. Hoodoo is just a spiritual practice. It's when you connecting with the ancestors and you conjuring and you manifesting. So that is what Hoodoo is. So I do Hoodoo, which is connecting with the ancestors, and the ancestors help me. Voodoo is the religion when you're honoring the ancestors, and then you also honoring and worshiping the Lawa. And I do that as well, but then I also want to work with the Lawa more. So that's what I mean by more heavy shit. I want to do. I know a little stuff I can do with the Lawa, but not. I want to do some heavy shit. So yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay, then do you have what kind of limitations do you have as a spiritual worker?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't do hexing. I don't do hexing for clients. I don't do hexing for clients. I don't do that. Like dark work and stuff. I would do it for like myself or my family or like a friend or something. I'm willing to put myself into that situation, because when you do dark work, some clients will half-ass tell you stories, and dark work can backfire on you. It can backfire on you, and I don't got time for no shit backfiring on me. So, and you gotta do reading. Well, you can do a reading, but I don't got time doing readings on it. So I'm not doing dark work for clients or hexing for clients. What else? That's the only limitation I got right now. I'm good for everything else. Yeah, off the top of my head, that's the only thing I got.
Yeah, now that's what you won't do, but is there anything you just cannot do? Because I know that a lot of people probably.
Oh, okay. Let me tell you this. I don't give a hell. I don't give a damn. Okay, if I can't do it, I'm gonna tell you I can't do it. If I can't do it, it's what I mean by I can't do it. Like I don't, because it is good. I feel like it is good for spiritual. If you're a spiritual worker, to know different spiritual workers like in different fields. And what I mean by this, so I'm in Haitian Voodoo, so it's good for you to know somebody that's in Palo, or someone that's in Centralia, Ifa, someone who's in 21 divisions. It's good for you to know other spiritual workers in different fields, because if you can't do it, or if you don't want to do it, you can send somebody else into that field. You can give somebody a reading, and the spirits that walk with them are not, voodoo spirits. It could be spirits, it could be orishas or something, and you're not with the orishas. So you have this, well, let me see this priest that I know that, in Orisha that could help you out, something like that. Or somebody can come to me for a situation. I can't really think of the last situation I had somebody come to me and I'd be like, I be like, I'm not doing it, but I can't do it. People really come to me like for simple stuff. If it's not for like money or love, it's like really or court cases or like new jobs. It be simple stuff. It hasn't been somebody like I'd be like, no, I can't do it. But if I can't do it, I will tell somebody, I can't do it, and let me send you to somebody else that I do know that can do it or will do it. Make sense?
That's a pretty open-minded like point of view to have. There's a lot of people within the spiritual community who claim to be who claim to do everything, know everything, and they're capable of anything.
And don't know a little shit. A lot of people, and this, and I have a issue. I have a problem with this because people, like a lot of people, Google. Okay, you can Google some shit, but you cannot. A lot of spiritual stuff, or you cannot Google spirituality or Google a lot of stuff to learn when it comes to just like trying to do. Just let me just say something. Everybody think they're a goddamn witch. Everybody think they're a witch. Everybody think they can just do this stuff and just this. They know it all. And they just, and it's not. It's. Everybody in the village was not a chief. Everybody in the school is not a principal. You got some people who are science teachers, English teachers, math teachers. You got to find your field. You got to get in where you fit in. Everybody not a witch. So when it comes to people thinking they either know everything or they can do everything, hell no, because you're not. No, hell no. That's a whole nother look. Don't get me started.
I won't. All right. Don't worry about it. Okay. Well then, well then I definitely like the way that you I definitely like that approach and stuff. It's a lot of times people are not willing to admit their limitations, and it adds more trouble for everybody else in the end of the day. So there's like you're just creating problems for yourself when you're incapable of admitting that you can't do everything.
Yeah, and you're gonna get caught up too, pretending you know everything or thinking it ain't one motherfucker on this world that know everything. So I don't know everything, but I can help you though. And if I can't help you, I know somebody who can. Oh, trust me, I do.
All right, then how far all right, so we've kind of covered most of the topics that I wanted to talk about, but personally, like for you, and do you have any like projects going on right now when it comes aside from your podcast?
I'm sorry, should we say that again?
Aside from your podcast, do you have any other like spiritual projects going on?
Well, beside my podcast, no, and I always tell my clients this too. And excuse me for my language, but I always tell people that I'm a one nigga show. So I do, yeah, I'm a one man show. I do my readings, the consultations, the bookings, the spells. I have to buy the ingredients, prep, and then people don't understand like preparation too. So I'm really juggling a lot, and then I have a personal life. So aside from my podcast, I don't, and then my ceremonies, and then my my own personal spiritual growth, I don't really have anything planned. Just my podcast and stuff. But any other projects? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'm an open book.
Okay, that's great. How is your podcast going?
Better than I expected it. Really.
It must be going better than you expected. You invited me there 4 months ago, and you still haven't had me on. So it must be going great. It must be fantastic.
Look, no, I'm not even the big no. It's my numbers on there have been phenomenal. I reached over, I think, like 15K listeners. Like I think I'm going on like 20K. If I have a mistake, I need to check the last time my list. Last time I think I looked, I had over 15K plays on my whole entire playlist of my stuff. It's good. Like people really like it. At first, before I put it out, I thought there ain't nobody finna listen to my little old ass. Who the fuck give a fuck about me? But people really do like it. Really do. They think, yeah, it's better than I thought. So I'm blessed.
Awesome. You see, I'm glad. I'm really, really glad. All jokes aside, I really do want you to be as like freaking successful as possible and to reach as many people as possible. So, good luck. He had to put that in there.
Okay.